we get started. All right, so for our final press conference, starting off, we have head coach Jeff Nelson. We are coming off of a road trip where we lost to Wyoming, but we defeated Colorado State in 5. And in doing so, we snapped Colorado State's 12-match win streak from the season, our 12-match win streak with them in the series, and also the first time in 45 Mountain West home matches that they've lost, which dated back to 2013. And
wow.
Significantly, we also
Good to know.
won on the road for the first time in Fort Collins in 24 years. So that was a big accomplishment, big monumental win for us, and we'll let Coach Nelson start with an opening statement, and we'll take some questions.
You said 45?
45 Mountain West.
Well, that makes me feel better.
24 years.
24 years since the last time we won in Fort Collins.
Well, you know,
Before I was born.
in fairness, not a lot of people have won up there. You know, they have a great situation. They had a huge crowd. They were really in tune to what was happening. I mean, when the game was close and we were serving, you couldn't hear in there. It was pretty phenomenal. They do a great job up there. So, yeah, it was interesting. We played at Wyoming, and I really felt like the players had kind of checked it in. I didn't feel like we battled. It was extremely disappointing, and I felt like they'd checked it in. When we got to our hotel in Colorado Springs, we sat down and had a little heart-to-heart and talked about character and a number of things. And I used a clipping from the Wyoming paper where their coach talked about he was happy they hadn't checked it in because they were out of the race too, and kind of shared that with them. And just spent about an hour and a half talking about right and wrong and representing UNM and all kinds of things. And we had a great practice on Friday evening. We had a great practice on Saturday morning. And I wouldn't say we had a statistically great match on Saturday night, but we had, from a standpoint of battling, we had an amazing match. I mean, we stayed in points. We fought for points. We went after them with the serve. I mean, we served as tough as we have all year. It was good. Our serving was able to take their middles, who are outstanding, out of the match at different points in the match. And you know, we got up 2-0 and actually led 17-11 in the third. And then we got nervous. It was like, oh my God, we might win this. And we got nervous, and we made some really kind of unfortunate errors. And they had a couple things happen too. They had a serve roll over the net when it was tight. Those things kind of deflate you. But when we got to Game 5, I felt like it turned at about the 8-point switch. I felt like all of a sudden we were back on it and battling again. And we just kind of went point for point. And then they had the first match point at 14-13, and Ty got a kill. Ty had an amazing night. I think she had 20 kills, and we had 2 tough serves and forced the ball to different places, and they just made hitting errors, and it was over like that. But it was amazing. I'm really happy for our seniors. They were very emotional. Felt really good about what they'd done, felt really good about the fact that they'd pulled back together and played a great match to finish. We had talked before the match about the different points in your athletic career when you have chances to do something that's really memorable, that will stay with you, that will bond you, and this was one of those nights, and they achieved it. And I mean, they were crying before they even went through the handshake. They were so excited. And couldn't have been happier for them, my staff, and yeah, it's, you know, there's a lot of things that fell on Saturday night, and they needed to, and I'm thrilled with that. We've beaten them a couple times at home since I've been here, but not on the road, and as Allison said, they hadn't lost probably for 4 or 5 years at home in conference, so that's really exciting. I didn't really know that or know the extent of it, to be honest. I will say this, I think I got great leadership this year out of Mercedes Pacheco. She's been an awesome part of this program and a great leader for our team and the coaches this year. My seniors have been fantastic. I have enjoyed working with them, have great relationships with them, and I'm excited for them. A couple of them are probably going to go on to play professionally in Europe. And so they're leaving in a good place, and I think that truly was memorable for them. You saw our signing class last week, or I hope you did. I think it's as good a class for me as I've ever signed. It's really exciting. We really wanted to get the word out on that because it's a big-time class. We went after big arms, and we went after really athletic kids, and we got them. We got every one of our first choices, and that doesn't happen very often in recruiting. So we are extremely excited about what moves forward, and kind of the pride of that class is our young lady from Mexico who's played in the Junior World Championships, the World Championships, and is a big point scorer. And so, from that standpoint, you can look through the class, but it fills our holes. I think in many cases upgrades, and we're just really excited about it. So I think we ended on a high note. I think our signing day last week was a really high note. We were very excited, and we're ready to move forward. So any questions?
Well, I was just going to say that you kind of said it right at the end there, but this has got to be probably the best thing for our team coming back next year. To win that game is such a big game for us and fire them up, and I'm sure they'll bring that up when they start next season. Don't you think it's going to be?
I think so. We had a good team this year, and we had two things that really hurt us. The first was the injury to Carly. Carly was scoring 10 points a match for us. After that, we got about 4 points a match in that position. And in doing so, lost 4 really close games in that stretch after she went out in 5. And the second is we struggled with chemistry. Our 4 seniors to our freshmen, it was just a struggle. We had to do a lot to keep them moving forward. But within matches, they could play really good ball. I know you come a lot, so you've seen that. And what was really nice for them was to just finally come together and play a great match all the way through. I mean, 4 of the 5 games we played very well. So I think that's it. I think you're right. I think that carries them forward into spring training and even weights yesterday and today. So, because we don't stop. And so, yeah, I think it's a good thing. I think it's exciting. And I think for us, last week was a really big week across the board.
Do you anticipate any postseason at all? Or?
No. We're about, you've got to be in 120 or higher. And we're sitting in one at 131 and in one at like 139 or something. I don't even know, but close. And again, we said it, we had a match point at San Jose, and we had a match point, 3 match points with San Diego. You win both of those, and we're in a different place today. And that's how close it comes down to. And it's a tough lesson for kids to learn, but I think when they sit down and look at it and realize it, it's motivational too. So
the 6'4" girl that you're bringing in next year, can you tell us
about her?
Yeah.
Fanny plays on the Swedish national team. She's probably closer to 6'5". Good blocker, has international experience already. She's, like I said, playing on their national team and traveling with them. And international experience is a really good thing because you're playing, in a lot of different venues, a lot of different places in the world, and against all kinds of really good players. And so, we got 2 players with international experience on Wednesday, and I think they're both going to help a lot. But I think she replaces Vic's size that we lose in the middle. Big, strong hands, tall, solid. I think she'll be ready to go.
So is she a big girl, then not a skinny girl, but a big? I'm just curious how.
Is that how we talk? Is
Yeah.
that? I don't know. She's a tall, wonderful young woman. We'll leave it at that, okay? You're trying to get me in trouble. No, you know what? You need to hang around more because no young woman wants to be called, even though I know what you mean. You mean tall and strong and physical.
Like a girl from Australia or something.
I know what you mean, but young ladies don't really like to be described that way. So let's change your tone just a little bit, and I will say yes, it's a fantastic get for us. Okay? Always educating. Anything else? Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.